20 high street pieces I would love to add into my summer wardrobe, plus a couple that I found along the way that I would advise you avoid. Hello ladies, I hope you're all well and had a lovely week. So as the title would suggest, today I am shopping the high street online and sharing those pieces that are just hovering in my shopping basket. I thought it would be nice to have a little bit of a mooch together in some of my favourite fashion stores, and I could show you all my favourite pieces new in at the moment that I think are worth investing in for this summer 2024. So it's a little bit of a debrief of what's in the high street stores right now. So let's get started. Right, I've got my laptop ready, and it's probably easier actually if we do this by store. So let's start off with Mango, who actually I was having a really good look through yesterday. I think they've got a beautiful collection for summer 2024. Some really lovely pieces in there. So the first item I found was something a little bit different actually, because it's a printed linen dress. I don't often go for prints, so I think when I find one that I actually really like, it's worth shouting about. I just love the colour of this print, and I think it's the blend of those different blues with the little hint of aqua that really works nicely. It reminds me of the sea somehow, like got a blend of all those different blues. And of course, being in linen is obviously a fan favourite of mine and lots of yours as well. I also thought the neckline on this one was really nice. Obviously slightly square at the top section, but then almost like a halter neck shape with the rest of it. I think that's giving a really nice fit across the chest portion. And then you've got that drop waist as well, which is something that we saw way back in January as being one of the big fashion trends. And then it almost disappeared a little bit. We didn't see very much of it again. So I think it's quite nice to see it in dress form. Now, thinking of fashion trends, the other big trend that we saw on the catwalk, which to be honest with you, I wasn't really sure if I was going to dip my toe in, so to speak, because I wasn't sure if it really suited me. And that was, of course, the crochet trend. Now, I've personally seen this all over social media in the dress form, which for me, unless I'm on a beach with my cozy underneath, I don't think I'm really going to go walk about in the village or go into town with half of my body exposed. Which is why when I spotted this top at Mango, I thought, oh, okay, that's a really nice way to tick that trend box, but equally, as I always say, with a piece that I think I could wear again and again. So a very similar shape to that dress before. Actually, you've got that square neckline at the very top, but then almost feeling like a halter neck because it's quite close to the neck. And then of course you've got that knitted crochet detailing. The problem of course with these kind of tops is that they're quite see-through. And I think the girl here is not wearing anything underneath, which is fine if perhaps you feel comfortable heading out the door dressed like that. Personally, I definitely need a bra. But I'm going to order this one as it's really affordable, $22.99. And to be honest with you, I think a neutral bra under that top will work a treat. So onto my third piece that I found at Mango, and actually following on from the crochet top before, this is probably the sort of way I would style that crochet top. I really love these long, full white skirts that we've been seeing. Actually, Marks and Spencer's have got a really nice one as well. But I spotted this one at Mango, and it particularly stood out because it looked quite flared and even more full, which I really liked. So it's retailing at $45.99, and it is currently available in all the sizes, but as we know with Mango, you've got to be quick if you like it too, because it'll probably be sold out by next week. And then when you style those two pieces together with my fourth item that I found at Mango, I think that makes a really, really lovely outfit for summer. You've managed to integrate a few of the different fashion trends in there with the crochet. You've got that natural raffia element, you've got the full white skirt, and of course white on white is one of the big fashion trends that we saw again. So you've got those trends running through it, but it's still a very elegant, quite simple, quite minimalistic outfit idea. And equally, it's really nice that it's very affordable, even as a whole as well. So let's move on now to SEZANE, because of course I couldn't do a little bit of a mooch about the shops and not have at least a quick look at one of my favorite Parisian style brands. So first up is a dress that I'm kind of kicking myself about actually, because I don't know if you remember in my recent SEZANE haul that I did maybe a month and a half ago, and I bought that beautiful sort of halter neck strappy dress, fitted nicely over the chest and then kind of scooped down over the hips, nipped in sort of midi length I suppose. Well, I loved it of course, so I went for it in the only colour that it was available in, which was the black. And then as SEZANE like to do, they brought it out in an even nicer colour, which is this beautiful deep red terracotta. In truth, if I hadn't taken the label off already and worn it out actually, I would probably swap it and go for the terracotta, because I really love that tone, and I do probably reach for it more than I go for black. Saying that, it is always nice to have a little black dress in your wardrobe, and it's a great shape. I just think that this colour is particularly striking, and it just makes it a real statement forever dress for me. Onto something that I spotted a couple of weeks ago actually, and I personally really like these sets. So I'd be interested to hear what you all think, because I think they're quite divisive. I think they're a bit of a Marmite piece, really. So essentially, any kind of co-ord shorts set, ideally with a shirt and a pair of shorts. And I've seen a lot of them about recently, like this, in a stripe. In actual fact, the majority that I've seen are in a blue stripe, so this one's slightly different, being in the pink. Now, I do think co-ords are a very easy way to make your outfit feel put together, even if it's something like this, which is obviously very chilled and possibly for your holidays, sort of heading down to the beach. It's a kind of relaxed kind of outfit. Firstly, I would say I think the trouser versions of these stripe sets do really look like pajamas. So personally, I would avoid that. And if you do like them, I think the shorts versions of these sets are the way to go. Secondly, if you're still feeling a little bit like you're wearing your PJs, you could simply add a tank top or even a t-shirt underneath that shirt, leave the shirt open, and then it's very much a considered co-ord set. It looks intentional. Another easy tip as well, of course, is with your accessories, because you can very simply make this look beachy by adding a raffia bag, your sunnies, sort of layering of gold jewelry, your sandals. All of that together will make it look a beachy outfit. Another item I would love to add into my summer wardrobe, and something that's currently sat in my shopping basket, would be this beautiful swimsuit. Now, I've bought a few swimsuits and bikinis over the years from SEZANE, and I love the quality. They actually collaborate with, I believe it's a swimwear and lingerie brand called YSC for all of that swim collection. So you know you're getting a really high quality piece from a swimwear maker, I suppose. When I first saw this swimsuit, I actually thought, oh, that looks really reminiscent of Johanna Ortiz, which is a big designer. I absolutely adore her collections. Sadly, cannot afford to add any of it into my basket, but she's got quite a distinctive look with the prints that she uses. And then as I scrolled down, I realized, oh, they've called it the Johanna, but with a Y. So maybe it is a bit of an ode towards Johanna Ortiz and those beautiful creations she makes. Halter neck shape again, which I do really like. The thing I'm kind of toying with is, do I go for that in a swimsuit or a bikini? Because I seem to change my mind on any given day which one I prefer. So do let me know if you have a favorite. And then to a couple of beautiful pieces in my favorite shade of caramel. Of course, you knew that this one was going to make it into my shopping basket. I haven't pressed go yet because I'm just debating on the sizing, but definitely something I need to add, because one, I adore that color, absolutely my favorite shade. Two, it's been made from a blend of lyocell, which is a favorite sustainable fabric, and linen, which we love. Three, I think that shape around the neckline is hugely flattering. Four, or am I on five? I can't remember. You've got that really nice point of interest with that little bit of detailing around the neckline. And then six, I think I really need to actually spoil myself to those shorts as well. So I've got a lovely set. So do let me know in the comments what you think to all of those I like at SEZANE, because you could save me a small fortune, as that's quite a big shopping list all in itself. But I just look at some of their pieces and think, oh, I won't ever see that again, and it will look beautiful in 10 years time. It's hard to say no on there. Although saying that, and this doesn't often happen because I tend to like everything that's at SEZANE, I force myself to find something, okay, what wouldn't I buy? What do I not like on their website? And I came up with this particular dress, which is called the Jada. Now, please don't take this personally if you've got this dress, but that shape for me really doesn't work. I think it's nice for the beach because it's quite airy, but it would just give me, or the model in this picture, no shape whatsoever. It's just kind of falling from the chest. It could look a little bit like you're wearing a sack. And in actual fact as well, I'm not overly keen on this particular print either, because it's quite big and bold and a little bit kitsch, and that's just not my personal style. Not to say this wouldn't look amazing on somebody else, so please don't take it personally if you've got this dress. I just don't think this style really works for me and my own way of dressing. This video has probably actually turned into 40 pieces I would love to add into my summer wardrobe, but never mind, who's counting on the numbers? So let's move on now to And Other Stories, and I found 4 or 5 pieces that I do really like, but then I equally found 3 or 4 that I don't like, and I'll give you my reasonings why. So first up, a bit of a twist on that big full skirt that we've seen lots of people wearing for this spring summer, and I thought this one was particularly nice for 2 different reasons. One, I like it in this tone they call wheat. I think it's a little bit softer than white if perhaps you're not keen on wearing bright white items of clothing. This was a nice twist on it, but still giving that same vibe. And then equally, I like a smocked waist. Very handy when you're on your holes and you feel like you're eating for England with a nice expanding waist. They're very, very comfy to wear. And although it's a little bit more expensive than the one I saw at Mango, I do think you get a higher quality fabric at And Other Stories. For instance, this one is a blend of viscose, linen, and then the lining is in lyocell, which we like. Now, as you can see in that image, they've styled it with, again, a see-through crochet top. Not sure how that's going to work in the centre of London, exposing all of my chest. So instead, I found a lovely top that I would style it with instead, which, although very simple and minimal, has got those really nice little touches of detail that, for me, make it feel a little bit more special. So this one, obviously being in light beige, will go really nicely with that skirt. It looks like it sits nicely across the chest, and then that little bit of detail across the back with the rope straps and then coming into the tassel at the end. Just thought that was a nice point of difference, and it feels a little bit beachy as well. And then as I was looking at that top, actually, I thought, oh, that's a really nice clutch bag. Something, again, a little bit different, a bit more statement to wear perhaps with that combination of the skirt and the top together. It's quite fun, and it's giving a bit of a nod to that fringing fashion trend as well. And I do really like when clutches kind of fold back over themselves. Sorry, I'm doing the action as well, but you know what I mean. And obviously you've got that sort of slightly bohemian vibe running through it as well to tie in with the tassels. I thought that would make a really nice outfit. Then I had a complete swerve and zoned straight in on one of my other favourite colours, which, as you can see, as I'm wearing today, which would be yellow. I have a hard job not letting yellow items get into my shopping basket. There's just something about that colour that makes me smile, and it makes me feel happy and know that summer has finally arrived. And actually today it's a little bit of dopamine dressing because I woke, oh, so annoying actually. I keep waking at 4 a.m. in the morning, and often if I put my podcast on, I can go back to sleep. But this morning, really, really annoyingly, I checked my email, and there was this email there, sorry, this is a complete swerve, but I checked my email and there was an email from the National Lottery saying, you've won a prize from your recent ticket. Well, that was it. I got up, I got myself a cup of tea, checked their website. Apparently, the National Lottery website closes until 6 a.m. So I'm like, oh, well, this is, maybe they've closed because they want to wait till a reasonable hour to tell me I've won £80 million. So I stayed up and I waited, and I'd won a fiver, which is just really, really pathetic. I got up at 4 a.m. to find out that and waited 2 hours. How will I spend my money? It's not even going to buy me this dress, is it? Never mind. So anyway, point being, a bit of dopamine dressing is very good for the soul, and if you haven't had much sleep, it makes you feel alive and happy and well again. The only slight thing I would suggest with this dress is I think it needs a little bit more shape in the waist section than it's looking on the model, for me personally anyway. So I would probably size down, so really, really nipped in there. I don't think it's going to affect it on the chest, and certainly not going to affect it on the width, on the hips, etc. But just give yourself the opportunity to have a nice scoop there at the waist as much as possible, and then I think this dress would be perfect. And then this one is a bit of a maybe. It's actually not quite made it into my shopping basket wish list because I'm kind of on the fence. I really love the blouse. I think the shape is beautiful. I absolutely adore any kind of intricate detailing like that with the embroidery and the open work detail. It's very, very pretty. However, for me, that wearing massive tops and massive trousers or massive skirt all at the same time, basically just looking like you're drowning in fabric, isn't really, that for me, stylish. It's just fashionable. So I was thinking, how would I style it? It would need to be with something quite slim fitting on my bottom half to balance out such a voluminous top. You can't really tuck it in because then you hide all the pretty detail. So I looked at this and thought probably the only way I would style it would be with either a mini skirt, which I don't really wear, or a pair of shorts, which I do. So then it felt quite limiting, but then I really love the blouse. So I'm very much on the fence with that one. Do let me know what you think. I do like how it looks on the model. I just don't think that's going to work for my own real life. And now to a couple of corkers I found at And Other Stories. Just those pieces that you look at and you think, who is going to wear that? How could I possibly make that work in my own real life? So this first one for me is giving me big bird energy, which I don't think is a particularly flattering look. I actually don't mind fringing at all. I think the length of that fringing is stopping at the most unflattering point on her legs. Then of course it's completely see-through at the top half, which is just impractical for 99.9% of women. Yes, you could wear it as a cover-up over your swimsuit, but in actual fact, with that crochet kind of style, I've seen far, far nicer than this big bird look going on. So that's definitely something I would say to avoid. It might be trendy, but that doesn't mean we should wear it. And then another item I pulled out at And Other Stories, which I personally probably wouldn't do because I think it's just a step too far, would be these block-esque ballet flats. Now I know they're quite a Marmite piece in themselves, but I personally really love Mary Jane's and ballet flats just as a whole. However, taking them that step further and making them look like a block ballet shoe feels very, very forced. It's just a little bit try hard, and I don't think you need to go there. So while I do think they are a pretty shape in shoe, I think I've seen nicer across the rest of the high street. I do really like filming these videos, so let me know in the comments if it's something you enjoy or you'd like me to do again. Just having a bit of a window shop about the high street and sharing my favourite pieces and how I'd style them hopefully is really helpful for you all as well, and it sort of springs up some ideas of pieces you could mix and match with at home that you might already have. So I was on a bit of a roll at this point and had a little look at COS to see what they've got new in store. First up, I found this shirt midi dress which has been made from 100% cotton. It's quite simple, quite basic, but I thought it was done really, really well for one of those staple pieces for summer. I like that shirt or smocking detail across your chest. I think it adds a nice detail, but only if it's not too tight like this one. It looks like it's quite loose actually. Sometimes when they're too tight, I think it can look a little bit odd. So I just say be careful with the different shapes that you go for on that. Obviously got the spaghetti straps over the shoulders. I like where it's sitting at the waistband, and then just a tiny little bow detail at the back. It's pretty minimal, to be honest with you. It's retailing at £85, which is fair, I think, for 100% cotton full length dress, and it kind of does what it says on the tin really. Just another really lovely option on that perfect everyday summer dress. I'm not going to buy all of these summer dresses, I might add. I will have to choose between them and pick one. So don't forget to let me know in the comments. And talking of dresses, I then found this lovely pink one. Well, I say lovely actually. This one has been in my shopping basket and out again a few times over the past few weeks. There's something about it that I absolutely love, but there's equally something about it that it keeps making me hesitate, and I'm not entirely sure what it is that's holding me back. I really like that gathered detailing across the chest and how they've broken it up with those seams. I think that's nice. It's obviously going to give you a lot of shape in at the waistband, nice neckline, spaghetti straps, but I think there's an element with this one where it could end up looking a bit too twee and not modern, if that makes sense. How they've styled it looks lovely, but I probably wouldn't be wearing my Mary Janes in the height of summer, which is where I see myself wearing this particular dress. So I've just been second guessing myself a little bit with this one, so I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. I would wear it with sandals and a beach bag, but then does it end up looking a little bit too pretty? Not sure. Now a little bit biased on this next co-ord because I actually bought it already and added it to my wardrobe, which you've probably seen last week, the week before, I'm not really sure. But wanted to mention it just in case you missed that video, as I think it is a really, really beautiful co-ord. It's relaxed, it's very summery, it's incredibly comfortable to wear. It's not giving me an awful lot of shape, but it's one of those sets that I don't think it really matters. It does what it says on the tin for that relaxed, everyday kind of vibe for my holidays. Now I went for it in this lovely soft green tone, but it is also available in navy if you prefer. It's just that perfect everyday linen set that I shall no doubt be wearing an awful lot throughout summer, but also particularly when we're on our holidays too. Next up, I found something which was hugely inappropriate for summer actually, because it's just way too warm, but I wanted to mention it because I thought it was such a great piece, and it's been made from my absolute favorite knitted linen. You don't often see knitted linen pieces about, so I think I kind of zone straight in on them when I do spot them. And unfortunately, actually, when I saw this, I thought, I wish they'd done that with short sleeves, or even 3/4 would have been really nice. Then I could have seen myself wearing it kind of on a summer's evening. But just in case anyone feels the need for something with long sleeves at the moment, I think this is a really, really nice option. I love the color in that dusty blue, knitted linen, obviously, and the shape being a little bit oversized. I thought perhaps with denim shorts or just something quite relaxed on your bottom half, that would be a really nice combo with that. It looks massive actually. Look how long it is on her arms. Maybe it needed a crop on the length as well as the arms. And then I just pulled out another big maxi skirt just to show you a bit of a difference of COS's version of it. And at the moment I could only find it in black on their website, but I've no doubt they will probably bring the same skirt out in white as well. This one I think is coming in the most expensive out of the different versions I've seen recently on the high street. However, this one has been made from 100% linen, whereas the others were a bit of a blend. So personal preference really on the fabric composition. Now slight swerve again, but what's everyone's thoughts on the fisherman's sandals? I at the moment am in the no camp. I've seen them everywhere, all over the high street, on social media, with all of the big influencers as the on-trend item to wear at the moment. But a little bit like, do you remember the ugly trainer trend that we saw a couple of years ago? Or actually the ugly dad sandals. It feels like a flash in the pan trend like they were. And they are pretty ugly, to be honest. For me personally, they just look too big and clumpy and bulky. And I don't know about you, but at the end of, say, a pretty dress, I don't want to just see a big clump of leather. It just feels wrong to me. Maybe that means that I don't have the most on-trend footwear out there, but I think I'm okay with that. Next up, I popped over to Nobody's Child to have a little mooch of what's new in store over there, and straight away found a dress that I thought was really, really beautiful. Now this one has been made from organic cotton. In fact, I think most of their dresses are organic cotton. They're a really sustainable brand. But what stood out for me not only was the shape of this one across the chest, which I think is a really flattering and very pretty shape actually, but also the gingham. I thought that was something a little bit different, something I've not got in my own wardrobe. It feels a little bit nostalgic, a little bit vintage, and it feels a little bit on trend too because of those puff sleeves and the shape of it. So that for me has definitely gone straight in my shopping basket. This dress I'm wearing actually is from Nobody's Child. It just arrived the other day and I chose it because I absolutely love yellow, and I'll have to stand up in a moment and give you a full length view, but just a really pretty colour, simple dress, does what it says on the tin really. But thinking of my love for yellow, I also spotted a waistcoat in that same lovely soft lemon tone as well. And I just thought it was a nice twist on the waistcoat trend to go for it perhaps in another colour. If yellow is just too different from the other pieces you've got in your own wardrobe to mix and match with, they do have it available in lots of different colours and a print as well, I think. Now some of you might have seen that long white viral dress from Marks and Spencer's. Sadly, it's now sold out. I think a couple of times sold out, but definitely not any stock anymore. However, I spotted on Nobody's Child they've got a really similar and beautiful version of it. Like they often do, they've managed to keep the prices really reasonable, so this dress is retailing at £85. So nice to have it below that £100 mark. It's been made from 100% organic cotton, and I think that shape is just absolutely beautiful. Just a very, very classic, timeless, pretty white dress. The bodice looks like it fits perfectly. It's giving a really nice shape around the chest and then out into that full skirt. I think if you wanted to make this one feel a bit more on trend, I would probably add in accents of black with your accessories. Me personally, I would probably style it with accents of tan, as that's what I particularly prefer. And then if you want to do something different and make it feel a bit even more up to date and perhaps one of the other fashion trends, I would think about adding in perhaps red Mary Janes and a matching bag. I think that would look really sweet. And finally, I thought I would do a little bit of a roundup of the best of the rest that I found across the high street at the moment. Just a quick debrief of a few different things I found that I love from a few different stores. Starting with the premium collection at H&M, I thought this was a beautiful skirt. I have already got a few long silky skirts in my wardrobe, but I think the colour on this one particularly stood out. Plus, being from the premium collection, it's been made from 100% silk, and yet they've managed to keep that price under £100, which I think is really good. I spotted this dress originally from Reiss in the white actually, and I think it was a friend of mine on Instagram was wearing it and thought it looked lovely. And then they brought it out in this beautiful kind of mink colour, which totally stole my heart. So I think if I was going to go for this dress, I would probably go for it in the brown. There are actually lots of pieces at M&M that I would love to add into my own summer wardrobe. However, I think that could fill a whole video all by itself. So to keep it short and sweet, I've picked out two items. The first of which being this cheesecloth broderie short swing dress. Obviously that lovely broderie detail on the end of the sleeves and the hem of the dress. But I like the fact with this one that you could wear it out and floaty like a swing dress, but you've also got the tie belt as well as an option to nip yourself in, give yourself a little bit more shape, and obviously a shorter length for something different throughout summer. And then a bit of a special occasion dress, which M&M do so very well. I found this absolutely stunning tweed cotton cotton dress. The quality of their pieces is just outstanding, and I kind of look at this and I know how that's going to feel, which would be beautiful. So if you are looking for a special occasion dress, or perhaps you're going to a wedding or the races, I would definitely advise, if it's within budget, to have a look at their collection, because I always find so many pieces I love. But yes, for now, I would add that one. Had a little mooch on Anina Bing's website, and there are lots of pieces I like from her, but I particularly liked this pair of shorts, as I thought that pleat detailing just on the front of the hip here was really nice and flattering. Plus, I really like khaki in a pair of shorts, and I thought overall these looked like quite a tailored pair, so they would then be quite timeless and end up lasting you for years. Something very casual and everyday, again now from Free People, is this Rio reversible midi dress. This for me would just be that perfect throw on at the beach or around the pool. And in actual fact, I did look at all of the pictures and I can't work out how it's reversible, but I'm assuming it's a slightly different texture or tone on the underside of it. By the by, I actually really like the fabric and the colour on the front section that we can see. So if you're looking for that basic staple piece for your holidays, it's definitely worth a look at some of their dresses. I headed over to Reformation and I found one absolutely stunning yellow, again, beautiful long silk skirt. This is just a stunning and quite happy summery version of that 90s minimal trend. I love how they've styled it in that high-low fashion as well, just dressing it down with a simple tank top or maybe a cami on your top half to contrast against that very silky, luxurious fabric on your bottom half. Possibly appropriate to wear for a wedding, but if not, a special event or a lovely dinner out, I think that's a really, really striking outfit. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my 20 pieces I would love to add into my summer wardrobe, which in actual fact was probably more like 50. I've got a big wish list, haven't I? Just to clarify, that would be my wish list. I am not intending to spend all that money and buy everything I've just mentioned, but if money were no object, I would love to add them all into my own summer wardrobe. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you a fan like me of yellow this spring summer, or perhaps you prefer the white on white fashion trend? What do you think to the fisherman's sandals? Do you think they're too big and bulky? And if anyone has bought the big bird dress, apologies, I laughed at it. I'm sure there is a way to style it in a nice way. I just can't imagine how I would make that one work. Lovely to see you all. Thank you so much for stopping by. And don't forget, if you're not already subscribed, that would be very much appreciated. Oh, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up too, and tell the rest of YouTube that this is something worth watching. Have a wonderful week, everyone. I shall see you on Sunday.